Okay, she be gone every single night. Day and night on my mind, pushing a cute vibe.
How's it going, everybody? This is Top Drabo. Hope you're having another great day, and welcome back to another video. Folks, I'm going to be real honest with you when I say this, but recently I've adopted a new guilty pleasure, and that guilty pleasure has been watching a whole ton of cat and dog videos lately on YouTube, and because of that, it's making me feel like that I want to have a pet again. I have not had a pet since I was 16 years old when we had a cat when I was living at my mom's house, and obviously since then I have not had a pet since, but lately I'm starting to feel like that I really want to have one again, especially when I do move into a new home and live independently, because I really don't like being alone, as you all know. And with that being said, both cats and dogs are pretty much the most popular pets there are in this world, but it's really hard for me to decide which one to go with, especially since at one point in time I've had both cats and dogs in my life as a pet, so it's really hard for me to decide which one, and maybe the same for you as well. So I'm going to be doing more of a compare and contrast video, talking a little bit more about cats and dogs, which one I personally would prefer, some of the pros of having them and maybe some of the cons, and also why both of these pets are so popular in general. So I'm going to start with a cat, and cats are really known to be more popular than dogs these days, and I had cats at least twice in my life, once in 2007 for a few months before she ran off, and then for a couple years when I was living in Chatham and Livingston before we had to give it away since one of our landlords unfortunately said that they were not pet friendly. But I had two cats in my life, and here were some of the things that I learned about them that could be a benefit and also a little bit of a downside. First, let's talk about space. Now, cats are usually very small, and because of that, they're a lot easier to go around the house. Usually there would be a lot more space since there's a lot of rooms around, and it really isn't that hard to move a cat around the house whatsoever. Plus, they happen to have a lot more free space as well, you know, and mostly because of these rooms and the space that they have a whole lot of freedom to do that, you know. They can even fit in some miniature places as well, and more important, they can just cuddle along with you as well. And so because of all of that space, you know, cats can be a lot easier to have around the house because you really don't have to worry too much about moving things around, just so that way your cat can adapt to those situations. And so another thing that I've learned is that cats are a lot easier to train, and a lot of that is because, you know, they're a lot more independent sometimes. So usually, let's say like they need to go to the bathroom, well, that's where a kitty litter might come in. Obviously, they don't really need to go outside a whole lot because they have that kitty litter in their bathroom, but you do obviously have to clean it every once in a while. So usually they don't have to go very far. All they have to do is just go in their kitty litter and do their business, and then you just clean it out for them, and then it's all ready to go for the next time they have to use their bathroom. So it's a lot easier to train them that way than it would with a dog. And because of that, you know, cats are usually a lot cleaner as well because, you know, obviously you have to wash them as well, and usually they don't do a whole lot more crazy stuff than dogs do, but really you can also train them when it comes to just playing around with them, you know, playing with toys as well, and well, it's just walking around with them a little bit in the house as well. And cats will really adapt very well to surroundings, so usually if you train them well, they will be a lot better to be around. One downside that I have seen with a cat though is that they would prefer to have independence. Now, unlike dogs, cats don't really like to be around people a whole lot. They can only be so attention seeking for a short period of time, but after that they will usually get very bored every once in a while and will usually rather wander off and just try to find something to do for themselves rather than just be with you. So for those that are more of a companion pet, those that really want a pet to be with them all the time and, you know, just cuddle along with them a whole lot, a cat may not be the best thing for you because cats can only be with you for just a short period of time and seek your attention for a short period of time before they ultimately wander off and do something else, you know. As cute as they are, you know, like I said, they won't be with you for such a long time when you're in a room with them. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about adopting a cat. Finally, cats are more affordable than dogs. Now, usually that depends on how many cats you decide to get, but just for a solo cat alone, whether it's a kitten or whether or not it's a more grown-up cat, the prices for those are generally a lot lower than it would be with a dog. Because of that, cats are a lot more affordable, and although you will have to be paying every month for their cat's health, especially with all of their furniture, along with all of their food, as well as their keeping up with all of their health and vaccinations and all of that stuff, that can add to a little bit. But however, cats are a lot easier to pay for because obviously they don't cost very much, and because of their small compact size, it's a lot easier to raise them than it would be compared to a dog. So obviously that would be a real benefit. If you're looking for like a pet that costs very little, a cat would be a very perfect benefit, although there are still some downsides when it comes to that, when it comes to everything else after after that. And then there are the dogs. Now, I've also was at one point a dog owner when I was a kid. At one point in 2009 when I was in Union and Chatham, and then when we moved into our new house in Chatham, we had one dog that we had for about 3 years. And boy, while they are real attention seeking, dogs at the same time can be really tough to be around when it comes to raising them and all that stuff. But they do love to be around people. That's something that I really personally know. And that's the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to dogs, is that they are real attention seekers. They love being around people. And unlike cats, you know, when you're out, dogs really get depressed because they really want to be with you. And when you do come home, they start to come right at you and really just start licking you and just climbing up on you because they really want to be with you. That goes with the dogs that I had in my life. You know, obviously they really wanted to be with me along with my family whenever we were home, and they just really enjoy being with you. And so obviously that's really one thing that makes them a real good companion dog, is because they love people and they just want to be with you no matter where you go. They're also good for a whole lot of outdoor stuff as well. You know, dogs are really good to be with when you're outside, especially when you're going out on a walk. You know, usually there are a lot of people that I've seen when I was going out walking a lot last couple years that would usually have their dogs with them. You know, they would have their leash on them and they would just go out and walk with them. Of course, obviously they would have a bag with them just in case they had to use a bathroom anywhere of sorts. But yeah, you know, dogs just like to be outside a whole lot, and they also like to, you know, jump around the pool a little bit and even play around with some toys outside and lay out in the grass as well. And you know, they just love the outdoors, and not only that, they're really good at spotting when things go horribly wrong. So usually when they're outside, dogs can sense that if there is something wrong, they can become real attention seekers. They can help you with, you know, protecting your house and protecting your family and all that stuff. So dogs can be really good when it comes to protecting you as well. But that's just one signature thing about dogs, is that unlike cats, they love the outdoors. So you would be rather stupid not to spend some time outside with them. One problem that I have noticed with dogs, however, is that they can be a real mess. Yes, it's also easy to train them if you are careful enough, but at the same time, they can do a lot of really crazy things when they're untrained. Like for example, there are times where, you know, it can end up having some furniture in the house where they've had a whole bunch of holes in them, or it looked like they've been chewed on. A whole lot of toys could end up being destroyed as well. And there are a lot of times where they do their business anywhere other than outside on the lawn. Trust me, I have been through that before. I have seen them do their business in their cage along with some areas of the house, and I have been forced to clean that up, and trust me, it is not a fun thing. That's where the training usually comes in. Obviously, you have to make sure that your dogs are well trained. Yes, they want to be with you and they're real good attention seekers, but at the same time, you need to teach them responsibility. You have to teach them how to be well clean and well trained as well, because otherwise you will have situations like that. So while dogs can be fun to be around, they have a real tendency to do a whole lot of crazy things that can do some damage to furniture as well as to home as well. So make sure that you're training them properly. Not to mention sometimes when they're around cats as well, and I've seen a lot of videos of dogs around cats, and I can tell you right now, those usually do not end well. So be careful if you have a cat in the house and you're going to have a dog with it. Finally, dogs are a little more expensive than cats are. Now, as popular dogs are, they do tend to vary when it comes to prices. Now, obviously, smaller dogs like, you know, like pugs and all of that can probably be a little lower, but usually most of the time, prices for dogs, if you're going to adopt one, are really high. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't remember how much it cost for my parents to adopt the last dog that I remember having in my life, but I can tell you it was quite a bit because it was a really big dog as well. And I can tell you personally, it really varies on what else you get your dog. You know, it comes to toys and food as well as a whole bunch of things to have your dog with. Obviously, it can really skyrocket the prices monthly as well. Plus, to go along with your vaccinations and all the health and all of that stuff, and you could be looking at spending a whole lot more money on a dog than you would with a cat. So obviously, as popular dogs are, if you're going to adopt a dog, be wary with your wallet, obviously, because chances are dogs are going to cost a whole lot more than a cat. So obviously, cats and dogs are very popular pets to have. Obviously, one of them is only a companion while the other would seek their independence, but at the same time, they are both so adorable to have in your lives. And obviously, that's why I've really been thinking about having at least one of them, if not both, as a pet again. You know, my little brother is having a birthday in a couple months, so I've been thinking that since I'm old enough and now I have a real good job, maybe getting a pet or two for him, obviously. Maybe just do something for him as a birthday present, and I feel like that would be a little special. And obviously, when I do want to go in my own home, I would like to have a pet like a cat or a dog with me as well, so that way they can keep me company while I also keep them company as well, because, you know, there's a lot of affection between me as well as pets as well. But yeah, when it comes to me personally, which one I would want to adopt. Obviously, I feel like the cats would be a lot easier to adopt because they really don't do a whole lot. Obviously, they're a lot more affectionate to be around, and really it's a lot more gentle as well. Plus, like I said, the prices are very low to adopt a cat, so really that would be one benefit. But I also really like dogs as well. Dogs are a lot easier to be with as well because, you know, they would like to be with you more than a cat would usually do. But at the same time, you know, there are a whole bunch of other risks that come with having a dog, particularly with the prices and the possibility that you could have to pay for some damages in the house as well. But I really love dogs as well, and I feel like they're a lot more fun to be around than cats are. So in my opinion, I really don't care which one. I really like both cats and dogs, but really it could be a little bit different with you. I know there are a lot of people out there that would prefer to have a cat and a dog in their life, but some of them would prefer one over the other. So in my opinion, it really doesn't matter which one you love. Pets are there really just to keep you company and also just to have fun as well. And that's really one of the best things about life, is that it's not just human love as well. There's also a lot of love for pets as well. And that's why I really like the fact that cats and dogs can be really good friends with humans as well. So it really depends which one you would like to adopt. Whether it's a cat or a dog, all that matters is that you love them just as much as they love you. And that love from them will come to you as well. And trust me, there are a lot of great benefits when it comes to raising a cat or a dog. So choose wisely which one you would like to have as a pet. But really, like I said, both of them are awesome. And I'm going to be honest with you, it is a guilty pleasure that I have recently enjoyed having again. So with that being said, which pet would you have if you don't have one? Would it be a cat or would it be a dog? Or if you were a cat or a dog owner at the time, or still are, what was it like having a cat or a dog in your life? And what was it like being with them and just raising them as an owner yourself? Feel free to let me know down in the comments and I'll be more interested in hearing your opinions about it. Anyways, that's going to do it for another video. Hope you all enjoyed it. As always, if you'd like to see more of my content, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when my latest video is released. As always, be sure to comment below for future suggestions for all my videos, whether it's blogs, projects, or challenges, you name it. Leave it in the comments below and I'll do my best to make them. As always, follow me on my social media. All the links are in the description below. That's going to do it for another midweek upload. Hope you're having another great day. And as always, I hope to see all of you again in another video very soon. So long, everybody.